Imperative theory of law. Imperative theory of law. The rule of law is a legal system that addresses the role of law in creating and enforcing laws. According to this theory, law is essentially a decision or instruction given by a powerful person or governing body in society. People must comply with these orders, which form the basis of legal work. To illustrate this perspective, imagine a parent telling his child to clean his room. In this example, parents represent authority figures whose commands are similar to rules. Children have to obey orders not because of any rational thought, but because of their parents' authority. Likewise, legal theory is a guide for the leaders of society, whether they are governments, legislators, or leaders. The theory emphasizes the effectiveness of law as a means of maintaining control and ensuring people's well-being. Laws were created to regulate human behavior, resolve conflicts, and provide a framework for social order. By forcing people to abide by these rules, regardless of personal views or religion, a cultural unity is created. Imperative theory is often associated with legal positivism, a general theory of law that argues that law derives from its foundations rather than its just content. In other words, a law is considered valid because it is issued by an authorized entity, not necessarily because it adheres to a particular ethical code. This concept reinforces the idea that laws are societal constructs designed to serve a practical purpose, rather than a reflection of absolute moral truths. Essential elements. Here are the essential elements of the imperative theory of law presented in bullet points for easy understanding. Authority and command. Laws are viewed as authoritative commands issued by those in power or governing bodies. Obligation to obey. Individuals within the society are obligated to obey these laws, irrespective of personal opinions or feelings. Maintaining order. The primary purpose of laws is to establish and maintain order in society by regulating human behavior and interactions. Practical functionality. Laws are seen as practical tools for resolving disputes, preventing conflicts, and facilitating social cohesion. Authoritative figures. Laws are created by authoritative entities such as government officials, legislators, or ruling bodies. Uniformity in conduct. Laws create a sense of uniformity in societal conduct by providing a standardized framework for behavior. Legal positivism. The theory aligns with legal positivism, where the legitimacy of a law comes from its source, the authority that created it, rather than its moral or ethical content. Legal realism. Often associated with legal realism, which emphasizes the actual practice of law over abstract legal concepts. Social order. The imperative nature of law helps establish and maintain a stable social order by setting clear expectations for behavior. Legitimacy through authority. The legitimacy of laws stems from the authority of those who enact them, rather than any inherent moral value. Criticism advanced on the theory. Following points are highlighted as criticism on this theory. 1. Lack of moral consideration. Critics argue that the imperative theory focuses solely on the source of law, authority, and neglects the moral or ethical aspect of legal systems. This can lead to situations where unjust or morally problematic laws are followed simply because they are commands from an authority, undermining the pursuit of justice and human rights. 2. Inadequate explanation of legal change. The theory's emphasis on authoritative commands may not adequately explain how legal systems evolve or adapt to changing societal values and needs. It often ignores the role of precedents, historical background, and progress in policymaking. 3. Cultural and social history. Critics say that the theory does not explain the cultural and social history of law. Different societies and times have different areas of law, which can lead to completely different laws even if they have the same basic philosophy. 4. Difficulty of interpretation. In practice, legal interpretation is often more subtle than a simple command. The law may be unclear or open to interpretation, and judges need to consider more than the decision itself. This view oversimplifies the complexity of legal thinking and decision-making. 5. Inability to resolve unfair laws. Critical thinking will be difficult to resolve situations where laws are unjust or oppressive. Strict adherence to this theory can lead to the implementation of laws that violate human rights, leaving no room for protest or fair criticism. 6. Ignoring ethics. Critics believe that people are moral and capable of making moral decisions. This theory contradicts this by reducing compliance to blind obedience that ignores personal moral and ethical considerations. 7. Ignore social and economic factors. This theory generally ignores the impact of social, economic, and cultural factors on the functioning of law. Create rules. These factors can affect the development, administration, and interpretation of law, and theory focusing on law may not see this generality. 8. Overemphasis on authority. By focusing on authority as the primary determinant of law, the theory may ignore the importance of public consent, recognition of the law, and participation. Examples explaining the imperative theory of law. Traffic regulations. Consider traffic laws that dictate speed limits, stop signals, and other rules on the road. The imperative theory views these laws as commands issued by a recognized authority, such as a government, with the threat of penalties for non-compliance. Tax laws. Tax codes provide another example. The government, acting as the sovereign authority, commands citizens to pay taxes. Failure to comply can result in fines or legal consequences, showing the imperative nature of tax laws. Criminal laws. Criminal laws are paradigmatic examples of imperative legal commands. Acts such as murder, theft, or assault are prohibited by law, and the state, as the commanding authority, imposes penalties or sanctions on those who violate these commands.